Hi, everyone. This is Jacqueline from She Rises Studios, and welcome to today's Light the Torch ceremony where we celebrate voices, visions, and victories of bold women authors who are lighting the way for others. Today, we are proud to spotlight a fearless, unapologetic, and soul awakening book, Naked Womanizer by Annamaria Solana. This is not your typical self help book. This is a raw, real, and rebellious call to stop playing small and start living wide open. Hi, Anna Maria. How are you?
I'm great, thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Well, we are so excited to have you on the show. Now, let's go ahead and dive right in. The title of the book, it's very bold and intriguing, Naked Womanizer. What does it truly mean, and why did you choose to have this title for your book?
Absolutely, and actually, that was exactly the goal to grab attention from the very beginning with the title of the book. Because so the naked represents that we have to strip away everything that we are handed in life. Because when we are born, with our soul and nothing else, we are just so brave and unapologetic and fearless and limitless. But
Hmm.
life treats us differently. And from early on, we start getting these messages, oh, don't do this, dress this
Right.
way, speak this way. And especially for women and girls, it starts really early. So I wanted to strip it right down and back to the soul, how we are supposed to be, and just get rid of, strip away all the limitation, the fear, the people pleasing, the validation seeking, and everything, the should and shouldn't, and all these conditions that we are dressed up with.
Right. And, it's very, on point when you said that there's so many limitations for women, and many women are raised to be nice, and you have to stay quiet, or you have to be grateful. How do these cultural expectations keep women small?
Yes, exactly. So we are practically taught to stay in the background and push others forward. So it's very
Mm,
typical in a traditional family setup. Let's say if there is a career or a family business from the husband side, then the woman's role is, just to do the admin and the accounts and the customer care and ordering things and looking after the team. And these things are so valuable, yet it's never acknowledged, and many cases it's not even being paid. So, and when it comes to caring for others, like, oh, you know become a wife and you become a mother and that's it for you. So
mm,
people just perceive woman as something less. When when I talk about feminine rights, we are not fighting for being perceived or given more than men. It's all about being equal, and
mm.
plus celebrating the differences, because I think we could work together in beautiful harmony, versus saying that, oh no, you are too loud, you can't run a business, you are too emotional, and all the things. And if we speak up, then you are crazy, because how dare you express your
Yeah.
own opinion and be different. So I think this is the biggest work society has to do, together, united, just to bring us together to the same level, and just learn to live in harmony and work together, because just like yin and yang, we can really extend on each other's skills.
That's awesome. Now, another factor that you emphasized in your book is the breaking emotional patterns. Can you share one common factor that women face, and how do you think we can disrupt it?
It's a very powerful question. And working and speaking to so many women, hundreds of them, and from my own experience, I think the one thing that unitedly connects women is not feeling good enough, or not
Mm,
feeling enough.
yes.
And from there, we definitely downplay ourselves. We dim our lights. We don't want to be disruptive. We don't want to show more, or seem more than others. So it's very typical to dim our lights just that other person. It can be a sibling, or any type of relationship, so just the other can shine. And it's so what the distraction to that would be is just to really do the inner work. I know it takes time, to get rid of all these conditions that we were fed with, and all the old stories that we don't believe, um, that don't belong to us. But if we just really, like I say in the book, and what it's all about, just really strip everything away and get back to the core soul, to our values, to our very unique being, our
Yes.
authentic self. And there are so many beautiful tools to use,
Mm.
gratitude, affirmations, and being present, heart breathing, journaling, meditation, yoga. But it can be active, like exercise, swimming, going out for a fast paced walk in nature. So many things, just giving ourselves a chance to connect back to ourselves and just filter out all the noises.
Right, that's wonderful. And you mentioned earlier that you have to work on our inner self. Now, how does self-work play a critical part in this empowerment?
Yes, yeah, the self critic, negative Nancy. I talk about this in the book, because she's been living with us for so long. Obviously, it's not gonna happen overnight, the shift. And it's not even ever going away 100%. But each time when we improve ourselves, negative Nancy in our head is just talk back to her. It can be humorous, it can be rebellious, it can be soft, any way that helps you. Just talk back to her like, "No, I really appreciate your input, but I think I got these things." Or no, I really don't think so. Or just challenging it. Oh, okay, I understand, but how about this? And flip the coin. I like using this flip the coin in everything I do and teach, because when we are stuck in one reality, that's all we see. And we think that's all it is for us.
Mm-hmm.
But if we start challenging it just bit by bit, okay, all right, but how about this? And the beauty of this, that our brains are wired to give you answers. So versus saying statements, which is a fact, and we are stuck,
Yes.
asking questions, but how about this? How about that? What if? What if that? What if this? Then the brain will search for answers, and we can start filtering from there.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Now, um, what about balancing feminine energy in with business success? Because especially now that there are a lot of women emerging and is getting themselves into entrepreneurship. What does that look like in real and everyday life?
Yes. So I think the core problem here is that women in business is still very new in the human history.
Hmm.
So men in business and trading, goes back way, way, way back in ancient history. But women doing business is still very new. So we have a lot of work to do here, because we are still perceived as we are incapable of doing business because we are too emotional. And as I see it, once again, flip the coin, this is exactly our advantage, being emotional. So women were created to be able to create. We were born, we can literally create a human in our bodies, right? From one given ingredient and ours, but the rest is up to us. And
Yes.
we, after that, we nurture. So this is our nature. And of course we are emotional because we care for so many people. in our lives. And this is our advantage in business because we are building soul-led and heart-driven businesses. And our mission is not only money, which is nothing wrong with it. That's another topic that I'm going to write a book about, the money mindset. We don't have to explain ourselves or what we want to do with the money. We can just earn as much as we want for our own liking, but it's our nature to give and build meaningful things that serves communities and on a larger scale, globally as well. So that's what I teach in my feminine mastery and business mastery and membership, because that's what women needs to see. Once again, just shedding all those judgments. Oh, you're too emotional. You're not good with money. You can't run a big business. It's just too complex for you, and all these things has to be gone from our head. And then once we see our true values, then we can tap into our own brilliance. And that's my main work. Before we can start with any strategy or marketing or sales, we have to go down to this basic level and just really feel comfortable in our own skin.
That's wonderful. Now, speaking of emotional, women being emotional, what role did heartbreak and breakthrough play in shaping the wisdom you share in this?
Well, just from working with clients, even the most confident ones, some things will bubble up. So that's one thing about business, because we are already doing so many things, and we add a business on top of that. This is just insane. So things will come up we don't even know that we are dealing with unconsciously, because it's very demanding. So that's why also, just a little sidetrack, that I'm really big on mind, body, soul connection, because it takes a whole lot of you to fulfill all these roles in your life, and your business as well. So I look after you in every sense. But back to the original question. So when um, when something comes up in a form of procrastination, feeling overwhelmed, imposter syndrome, monkey brain, wanting to do too much, underpricing ourselves, or wanting to give a really large amount, for a very small price, even if it's a freebie, like, going the long way in everything, that shows that something deep down is holding that person back. Indecisiveness is another thing. And then that's when I pause. And if I have a session with someone, it happened a couple of weeks ago, that I feel so overwhelmed, and I don't know what to do next, and all these things. Then okay, let's just pause. Let's put everything aside and look into it, why you feel that way, and then what we can do about it. So we had a session over acknowledging, of course, it feels overwhelming. You're building out the whole system, the lead magnets, the master class, all the promotion, the different offers, and how to talk to your audience. It's a large amount of information, and many people wouldn't even attempt doing it. But you have had the calling, you had the courage to answer your calling. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes, but I
Yes.
gently remind them that it's as complicated as we make it. So we can make it more simple. We don't have to start with everything, just focus on one thing. But even before that, my best advice is just to go back to your why. Why did you start this business?
Right.
What does it mean to you? How will you feel when you connect with your ideal client and you see their success, their transformation?
Hmm.
And then just go and talk to them. Forget about all the slideshows and the webinar recording and all those things. Just go connect with your audience, talk to them. Have a post, reply the comments, interact on other people's posts. Just just be a little, breathe.
That's wonderful. Now, if there's anything, one takeaway that you would like for the core message to be for naked womanizer, what do you hope it will be?
And the core message, so if you want to take away just one thing from this
Yes.
video and the book, is that never ever stop believing in your dreams, because they are there for a reason. They wouldn't be there if you were incapable of doing them. They would not even come up. And it
That's
doesn't matter who says what, you are the only one who's supposed to see and feel into your own vision. You can't
mhm.
even expect anyone because they haven't lived with you for all these years and decades. They won't understand until they see the final result. So never ever give up on your dreams.
That's wonderful. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Anna Maria, for bearing your truth and giving every woman permission to reclaim theirs. Naked Womanizer is more than a book, it's a mirror, a megaphone, and clearly a movement. It reminds us that it's not our fault that we were taught to stay small, but it is our time to rise, to be bold, to be loud, and to be seen, to be naked in the most empowered, soul aligned way. Naked Womanizer is now available on Amazon, so please go grab a copy and start your journey back to yourself. Thank you again, Anna Maria, for showing us a wonderful, wonderful revolution on how to become a true woman of the future.
Oh, you are very welcome. I hope it will reach countless women, and I can't wait to hear the feedback and their stories. And thank you for the team helping me make this happen.
You're most welcome. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.